Drill it, baby, drill it. Guyana oil deal sweet. Pump it, baby, pump it. Guyana oil giving way cheap. Take it away and store it till world market price go up. Then you throw back and you laugh because you don't pay Guyana off. When we get the news that they found oil, all Guyanese hearts was filled with joy. Some even predicted another Dubai. But how we leaders dealt with it make me cry. Civil servant salary could have doubled. Senior citizen pension quadruple. COVID relief 200,000. What they give to we blow out like nothing. This is not about politics, but them bad deal got to fix. We taking a lot of licks, more US dollars in the mix. Drill it, baby, drill it. Guyana oil deal sweet. Pump it, baby, pump it. Guyana oil giving way cheap. Take it away and store it till world market price go up. Then you throw back and you laugh because you don't pay Guyana off. We must hold our leaders accountable. Let them know they are responsible.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome back to the Glenn Lall Show, where he tells it as it is. I am Suan Wickham, your moderator for tonight's program, and I'm here, of course, with my boss, Mr. Lall, in our studio tonight. During our proceedings, if you'd like to call and pose a question, you can do so on 226-7453 or 226-7454, or send a WhatsApp message on 622-2222. Now, Mr. Lall, what do you have for the people this evening?
I have lots of things for the people and you, Suan. Thank you. And good night to everyone. A friend told me a few days ago, she avoiding negative persons in 2019. And in 2020, she avoiding positive people. She said now in 2021, she avoiding everyone because we don't know who is positive or who is negative. And she made me smile. She made me laugh when she said that. And she wasn't talking about who's positive or who's negative in the COVID. She was talking about our politicians, which one of them is positive or which one of them is negative. And I said, let me share that with you guys because I myself confused with all of them. I don't know which one of them is positive. For me, I think every single one of them is negative. Good night again to all of you. I just want all of you to know that I love you. I love the leaders and I love Guyana. Sweet, sweet Guyana. This is the best country on earth. I said on Monday night program that I have two beautiful stories for all of you. I did say the leaders are hiding from the local press. I also said whether they go on the mountain tops, the back dams, or on the moon and talk, we will hear back. With today's technology, you can't run, neither can you hide. So we will hear and we will bring to you live what they have been saying in the backgrounds. I heard the VP and another minister went on another foreign radio station. I'll be speaking about what they spoke of on that radio station on Friday night. It wasn't nice, so I have to bring it to you guys so you can understand. I also been told from people in Berbice, on the West Coast, on the East Coast, on the East Bank, West Bank, and in the Parika neighborhood, that they have been frequent blackouts. I would just want to let you know that this frequent blackouts that is happening is a game, is a plan, is a scheme they come up with to force this gas to show project on y'all. So when y'all see blackouts and blackouts and blackouts, these are the tricks they're coming up with to deliberately black out the place so that you can say, oh gosh, well, hey, let them bring it, let them bring it. The same thing they were doing when they wanted to bring the Amelia Hydro project on us. For years now, you have not been getting blackout. All of a sudden, gas to show project come on board. You see what's going on? Blackouts all over. Wow, just think about what I say. Everything they want to do, they come up with a scheme, a plan to force you into submission because they want their way with you guys. I have learned that in my 27 years of this news business. I watch them all, how they operate, and the things they do. Guys, tonight, both stories that I want to talk about has to do with our financial gurus of Guyana who have been running this country for a long time now. And one of them, the financial guru, Ashni Singh, is running our Ministry of Finance. He's managing our economy. The first story is about a Surinamese company which has set up shop in Guyana and which is building a new headquarters in the city. The company named Asuria. The Minister of Finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, was the official government representative that graced the little turning of the sod ceremony them had a few days ago. You know, as per normal, there is have speeches. What the doctor said made my stomach sick. It was so sick that I nearly threw up when I listened to the speech he gave. I listened to him to hear how much jobs the company would offer. Because, you know, jobs has become like a mantra in their heads. Only jobs these leaders them just talk about. But he didn't mention anything whatsoever about jobs being created with the Surinamese company. Instead, he spoke more crap than you can ever hear. He told the people present at the function that local businesses should take a page out of the Suriname company book and seek opportunities outside of the domestic market. Yes, he means we must go look for business outside of Guyana. Ow. I feel so sorry for this financial guru that I feel like crying for all Guyana. He said the local private sector should not confine itself to the domestic market, and like the insurance company, should go out into other countries and tap into their markets that is available. You hear that? Tap in. Yes, we must go and tap into other countries' markets. When he said that, I had to smile and cry at the same time. Like he to stop business people for go and look business overseas. Because I can't see why he's telling us to go look for business outside Guyana. I really can't see that. Everybody knows if they can make $1 anywhere, on the moon, they will go. Nobody can stop you. Business people go wherever the money is. And that's business, Mr. Ashton Singh. Nobody needs to tell you that. So telling the Guyanese people to go overseas for try to make $1 is totally outside of your understanding of what business is. Every fool in this world, much less a businessman, knows whether there is business opportunities, knows wherever there is business opportunities, they will go. That Surinamese company, Asuria, see opportunities here and they come here. Had they seen opportunities elsewhere, they would have come, they wouldn't have come to Guyana. They would have gone there instead. The money is here, Dr. Singh. And it is here now more than any other place on earth. But this financial guru doesn't seem to know or can't see that. He can't see the whole world running here to get a piece of our pie. No, he can't see that. He can't see the multi-billion-dollar business Guyana has on the horizon. He should have told the local businesses, instead of run away, partner with them foreign companies so we can get a piece of the action. No. Instead, he's telling us to go and look business outside Guyana. That is the financial guru we have running Guyana. The entire world, guys, is running here. Fortune 500 companies. That is the largest companies in the world. All of them lining up to come here to make money. And our guru telling us, our financial guru telling us, go look business outside. You guys hearing me loud and clear? Yeah. Thank you. Something definitely got wrong with these guys' brain. They either have to fix it cause it look like if it mix up or it they upside down. I more think it is upside down because y'all have the entire nation upside down with those oil contracts y'all sign. The big money is here, Dr. Singh, yet you're sending our people outside. Man, something is wrong with our leaders. These people thinking, like I said, need fixing. They should go and take some business class or lessons somewhere or go to some business school and get some sense in their brains. Ashni Singh told the gathering at the function, the opening of the Asuria insurance place, we must tap into markets that are available in different countries. Do you believe that, guys? Can you imagine the kind of brains these people have? Sending us to go look business overseas when Guyana is the best thing in the world right now to make money? Man, I beg you, O Creator, please help this nation. Please. I wonder if these people ever run a cake shop in their life. It's a sad situation we're in. Let me tell you a little more what he said. Or let me try to make it more simple so you can understand what I just said here. He's telling Guyanese carpenters and contractors, for go look work in Barbados, when I got no construction going on. When Guyana is on the rise with multi-trillion-dollar buildings going up all over, he's telling them, for go get work overseas, building homes or some little shacks when skyscrapers going up here and the people can make real money here. That's what he actually telling us. You guys see the mentality of our financial gurus? That is what they are. Winston Brasington, the man who was put in charge of the gas to shore project. You guys don't know. He had a wine bar on Lamar Street. It closed down overnight and wine away into the sunset. And he is now put in charge of this US billion-dollar gas to shore project. Yes. The man who couldn't wine to save his wine bar, now whining on top the billion-dollar gas to shore. You guys hearing me?
Yes.
Loud and clear.
Ashney Singh went on to tell the gathering there, nothing should stop you. Just how the Suriname company spotted an opportunity in Guyana, there is nothing to stop Guyanese companies looking beyond Guyana. He said there are good business opportunities outside of our domestic economic space, outside of the confines of our domestic economy. Wow. Wow, that is fancy terms, man. Fancy languages. You heard him. Those are his words. Guyana. This man repeat himself 2 times in his speech, knowing fully well we got all this wealth here. I wonder where these good business opportunities there in this world better than Guyana. May I ask Dr. Ashney Singh to tell us where is better opportunities are? He should tell us. Did you know Brasington Brasington and Ashney Singh leave this country and are living overseas? So you should have been doing business there. And you should know the opportunities exist out there. So you should tell us. A matter of fact, I got some money, and I know lots of friends who got little money to invest. So you should help us. Tell us. Tell us. These are your financial gurus. Yes, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, these are our financial gurus running this land. He said, Dr. Singh said, you know, many Guyanese business has developed, invested, innovated, improved, and raised the quality of what they produce so that they can easily tap in to the original economic space and the regional economic space. What have we been producing, Dr. Singh? Tell me. Tell Guyana. Y'all can't even sell sugar and rice we producing to make a profit. What else y'all could do? A friend of mine used to export water coconut to Trinidad and Tobago. And they stopped the man. What have you done, Dr. Singh, so far to correct that situation? Tell us. The man's still waiting and still producing coconut, but he can't export it. So what is he going to do with it? You guys should help him to tap into the same overseas market you're preaching about. This guru, Guyana, this guru said, this Suriname company's investment should motivate Guyanese business to expand their business and seek to have a footprint in the international market. Yes, in foreign countries, he means. Sometimes I just gotta laugh. I believe some of our leaders smoking something that even Kanu, the drugs people, never heard of. You know, I really don't know which Spanish book them read or learn business from. But I think they should find a business book in English and read it so they can learn a thing or two about business. He said, Guyana remains open for business, not only for Guyanese investors, but international investors as well. Imagine we can't even get a little contract to do a pavement anywhere in this country. And this man telling us to get ready to compete with overseas business. Go there and compete with them. Right now, I am told that foreign companies getting all the road contracts, the bridges contracts, and every contract you could think about. And the locals are being kicked out or sidelined. You guys remember I spoke about a brother invested with an international company to supply something as simple as vests and hats to the oil company. And he was kicked off the list because the oil company said he ain't got no experience. You tell us, Guru. You tell us if we can get into hats and vest business in our own country, how you expect our business people going to get into business overseas? We have pilots. Brothers and sisters, we have pilots here walking on the streets, on our roads, kicking bricks. Can't get in the helicopter service at Ogle, ferrying the oil workers to and from the oil ships every 15 minutes because them tell the people, them tell our pilots, they don't have the amount of hours in flying experience. Tell us, Guru, tell us, Dr. Singh, or them too has to beg overseas for work. You ever hear a magician speak? Anyone ever hear a magician speak? Well, I grew up with one, living 2 doors away from my home in Wakenham on the Essequibo. He always tell me, Glenn, magicians are tricksters. The more you watch, the less you see. And the less you see is better for me. He always have me cracking up with his tricks. Politicians are magicians too, but them little different. Them just trick you with lies and fool you with fancy words and terms. Them just watch you full in your face and lie to you. You know, they lie so much that I believe them can sell sunlight and cut electric bill and still make a profit. Just like how them say, gas to sure, without any evidence to show, gonna cut light bill in half. That's not magic. That's trickery and cannery, brothers and sisters. What you're about to hear is magic, coming from a magician. Only this one is getting catch up with his magic. Everything he say is correct, but he's not doing it for Guyana. I am going to play part of the Guru's speech so that you can listen to him in his own words. This financial guru. Could you get that video and play that video for me, sir? 1 second. 1 second. This is the second part of his speech. And I choose to play it so you can hear him in his own words as he addressed the same insurance company and their guests. This is the sweetest part. Could you play that part for me, please? Let all Guyana hear.
Will identify and seize opportunities beyond the Guyanese economic space. I look forward to the Guyanese companies of today becoming the large regional companies and the large regional conglomerates of tomorrow, and indeed becoming companies with an international footprint. And it would have been remiss of me not to seize the opportunity today. Like I said, I think what Asuria is doing is absolutely fantastic, and we want to see more of it. But I also want to see Guyanese companies doing the same elsewhere in the region. And through the medium of the opportunity that you've presented me, I wanted to make that point. There is a second point that I would like to make, and that's a point that I would like to make as it relates to the insurance industry and insurance products. It's absolutely fantastic that Asuria is here and that the insurance industry will expand, no doubt, will expand with Asuria's expansion in Guyana. We think that's a great thing. And I will make a point that I made in 2012 when Asuria entered the market. I feel very strongly that insurance is not discretionary or optional expenditure. There are a lot of people in Guyana who believe that insurance is something that perhaps you can afford to do without, or you take the absolute minimum insurance that is required because you must have insurance. You take some minimum insurance just to get by. And I want to say in the most emphatic terms possible that insurance is an indispensable staple in any company's and any household's risk management toolkit. When you speak of risk management, you can't speak of risk management either from a business standpoint or even a household standpoint. You can't speak of risk management without considering the importance of insurance. And you might not appreciate the importance of insurance until you consider perhaps at a household level what happens to your family if you suffer a calamity, God forbid, if you suffer a calamitous experience, at the limit, death. Or perhaps if you don't want to go to that extreme, incapacitation and inability to work. And if you consider what that means for your family, what untimely death or incapacitation can mean for your family and their well-being, their capacity to educate the young ones in the family, their capacity to live and enjoy the standard of living that they enjoyed when you were working or when you were alive, if you're the main breadwinner of the family. I think if you pause for a moment and you contemplate, and I'm speaking here about insurance at a personal level, if you contemplate for a moment what untimely death or incapacitation can mean for the well-being of your family, you might have a second thought about the value of personal insurance and products like life insurance and so on. The same applies to things like fire and other risks. We don't think about it until we suffer a calamity. And then when you suffer calamity, you discover, the dire straits that you are in. Likewise with businesses. This is not something that is unique to households. It's something that businesses face as well. Sometimes you might think that we might be saving by taking the absolute minimum insurance. We take the absolute minimum just to get by because the law says that we must have some minimum insurance. But the reality is that if you contemplate for a moment, again, God forbid, what would happen if you were to suffer a calamitous occurrence, I think you might think twice. And so I wanted to take the opportunity today, because this is the first time that I'm speaking for some while at an insurance event. I wanted to repeat a message that I delivered in 2012, and that is to say, not just to the insurance sector, and I think the insurance sector needs to do more to educate people about why insurance is important and why insurance is really indispensable, right? Really indispensable, like I said, an indispensable element in the risk management toolkit. I'm not sure how to break that down in simpler terms, but I really feel that every business and every household needs to think very carefully about what the risks are that they face and what insurance products are available to help them to mitigate those risks. You're not going to be able to eliminate all the risks, but there are insurance products that are available to help you to mitigate those risks. And I want to urge, first of all, every Guyanese business and every Guyanese household to pause and take a long, hard look at the risks that you face and how you can mitigate those risks using insurance products. But I want to urge to the insurance supervision department at the bank. I know that you're a supervisor and regulator, and this may or may not be within the remit of the regulator or supervisor, but I think public education on the value and importance of insurance is extremely important. And equally to the industry. I know the industry is organized, and you have the insurance association, and you have lots of insurance companies and brokers and so on. I think the industry needs to think as well about how it can revive public awareness of the importance and value of insurance and public appreciation of the value of insurance.
That's it. Thank you, guys. Brothers and sisters, you heard him clearly. He says, insurance is an important toolkit, and insurance is extremely important. He said he don't know how to break it down. So I will break it down for you guys, what he said there. Everything he said there is perfect, is correct. Every single word he says, how important insurance is. Ashni Singh said he appealing to the local citizens to consider investing in insurance, since it is a vital part of any company or households. He said it's a risk management toolkit everyone should have. Wow, you guys heard him. You guys heard him in his own words. insurance is a vital management toolkit for everyone to have. Do we have, brothers and sisters, do we have that insurance toolkit with ExxonMobil, Hess, and CNOC? Could Mr. Singh tell us that? And why not? You're telling us how important this thing is. It's our life and death. What happened to our insurance with the oil companies? Mr. Guru? Dr. Singh say, many Guyanese fail to recognize the importance of insurance and believe they can do without it. But on the contrary, he sees it as an important toolkit to benefit from should a calamity occurs. You hear that? A calamity occurs. Insurance is a toolkit to benefit from in any case of a disaster. You hear that with your own ears. Not Glenn saying that. Guys, I think I was wrong. I thought these people were stupid. No. These people have great wisdom. What he said there, he looked like he born in an insurance home and lived all his life because he was so eloquent in presenting that information. I believe he should change his profession and be the best insurance guru in Guyana rather than just a finance minister. What you guys say? Yeah. Maybe he would have been behind Exxon, CNOC, and Hess to give us that insurance. You guys remember I said, don't watch what they say, watch what they do. Them saying one thing and doing another thing. We don't have that toolkit to give us full insurance from those oil companies out there should a disaster or a calamity occurs, Dr. Singh. That's your word, calamity. Then you talk about insurance. He tell us every Guyanese should have. But when it comes to this type, the oil insurance, we ain't hearing a word from Dr. Singh. Not a single word he said about that. I wonder why. I wonder why. Are you asking yourselves, brothers and sisters, why you didn't hear anything? Yes, let me tell you why. Guyanese lives don't matter. It doesn't matter to our politicians of this country. You telling people insurance is so important that every household and business must have it to secure themselves. You also tell every Guyanese got to have insurance in case of death and disability, meaning when you're dead or who can't work, your family must get something to live on. But when it comes to the biggest disaster that can happen overnight out there, that can destroy all of us, including our neighboring countries, you ain't hearing nothing. Not a word, doctor. How come? What's going on, Ashley? Tell us something. Tell us why we don't have full insurance after Exxon, CNOC, and Hess parent companies agreed 2 years ago to sign that legal document giving us full coverage insurance so that it can protect all of us in this country and all our sister countries. Where is that document, Dr. Ashney? You get it yet? Guyana get it? This is what you should have used as an example at that forum. If Guyana is destroyed, who will take care of us? You and that Suriname company? No, man. No. We would have been left to suffer the consequences all by ourselves, one by one. Are you hearing me, guys?
Yes, loud and clear.
Brothers and sisters? I hope so. Danger is ahead for all of us. If not, and it's not if not, but when a calamity occurs out there, we all are doomed. This guru said, insurance is a vital toolkit that every Guyanese must know of or have for your businesses and properties. The man warning Guyanese not to take cheap insurance. Go for the best so you can have full benefits and full protection. He even gave examples. The man said, if you consider what disaster means for your family, you might have a second thought about the value about personal life insurance and for your house in case of a fire. Brothers and sisters, if the guru know that insurance is so important, extremely important, then he should have tell Jagdeo. He should have tell Jagdeo that. Because Jagdeo is the one that says he believes that Exxon gonna pay in the event of a disaster. He believes Exxon gonna pay without any legally signed insurance company policy or document. I wonder if the guru and Jagdeo house burn down, they will get pay from that same Surinamese insurance company without any signed insurance policy. They should answer that question. Guys, I had to listen back to make sure those words came out from the guru's mouth, because I could not believe it at the time, knowing how Dr. Vincent Adams kept fighting Exxon, Hess, and Sinnock for insurance, for full insurance to safeguard and secure Guyana and all of us. This is a man who encouraging the insurance company to educate the public on the benefits of insurance and the opportunities it presents. Like he liked that word opportunities, because that word he used many times when he was talking about the opportunities that exists for business people overseas. But he and his party and the other parties ain't educating them leaders so that they can call on Exxon and the others to sign that insurance policy to safeguard Guyana. Us. Yes, us. Oh, Creator, please bless Guyana a little more. with these leaders. Please. And let's all pray that we don't ever have a calamity out there. When we hear these leaders talk, many of you think they're angels. And I know this because I just be speaking to many of you. But you guys don't know their actions and their words are a ticking time bomb for Guyana. You don't know that. The Creator knows we don't have any natural disasters upon we head. But He didn't spare we these human disasters we have for leaders. Look at them. Listen to all of them in the PPP, in the PNC, the AFC. They are all calamities and disasters with flowery and fancy words and languages coming from their mouths. When will we learn, brothers and sisters? When will your leaders wake up to this near-death situation we're in? Our lives are at stake, and I want you guys to get that very, very clear. Without full coverage insurance, or what the doctor called management risk toolkit in we hands. If we don't have that, we are all doomed. Could we open the lines, please? Thank you. Let's have the phone lines open. Guys, you can call us 226-7453, 226-7454, or you can WhatsApp or call the WhatsApp number 622-2222. I am ready to have this conversation with you guys. I want to hear from you guys. Please. Do we have any? Well, then all Guyana is sleeping. Maybe they're in the blackouts.
I was just
The same blackouts. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe all Guyana have blackout, and I'm speaking to myself and a few of us in here. Wow. Wow. Or maybe all GT&T black we out too. Yeah. But I'll still continue.
Caller, good evening. You're on to the Glenn Lall Show.
Hey, good night, good night.
Good night.
Yeah, I listen to your show every night, you know, and I just enjoy what telling people because I think they stand you open the eyes and see what's going on. But for all of this thing that they're doing, these people like them are hearing what's going on.
They mean what?
Like they don't listen. You know?
Well, I don't know if they black out the place or if GT&T black out the place.
But other one little thing to say, you know, is that it seems to me like Exxon and them come to collect balance to them because we collecting 2% and they collecting 90. There's like storage fee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This how we get in storage fee.
Yeah. You're lucky
you
you...
got for storage fee.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's some backside time coming out to now.
We're not getting nothing from anywhere, my friend. Not from your bauxite, not from your gold, not from your timber, not from your oil, not from your diamond. Nothing you get in. And all of us sit down quietly and listening and believing in these leaders' words, their sweet talk, their fancy languages. And you and your children can't put biscuits in your lunch kits to send them to school.
So this why, you know what I mean, this why these leaders them could do what they want to do because we like those kind of people. We don't tell you, kick, everything is laugh, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing serious about what's going on, you know what I mean. I could tell you because as a taxi driver and I relate to them and tell them to come up on the program and things too. You know what I mean? And I like to congratulate you about what you're doing because
Thank you.
You're doing a very good job.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
You know what I mean? It's just,
keep encouraging. You got to keep encouraging other taxi drivers, your neighbors, everybody, cousins, relatives, whoever, strangers. Tell them to listen, man. Because nobody's saying anything in this country except the Kaieteur News and the Kaieteur Radio. Thanks for your call. Go ahead.
Caller, good evening. You're on to the Glenn Lall Show.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I want to thank you, Mr. Glenn, for the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
I listened to your program, and they said they're giving the Guyana people 2%.
Mm-hmm.
We as Guyanese, we were British Guyana, so we know about royalty.
Mm-hmm.
So by right, we're supposed to get 12.5%.
Exactly.
Are they hiding the 10.5% in those contracts under those confidentiality clauses that they have? Because we won't be able to see it.
I love this lady.
Somewhere in there, they're hiding it.
I love this lady.
They're giving us 2%. So where the 10.5%? That's why nobody's talking to you. Because they know what they're going to get.
I love you. I love you. That's a beautiful question. But it's kind of a little hard for me to answer, you know. you know, when people do things like this, you just got to read through the line.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We are not stupid. You got to read through the line.
Because we know as Guyanese, we were British Guyana.
Mm-hmm.
So we know about the royalty.
Yes.
And if even the Spanish country is getting 12.5%.
Every
we
country.
We can speak English, that we getting only 2%.
We did.
So
I did.
10.5% is somewhere.
I did my Monday night program in which I compared. We did a survey on 35 countries, and
Yes,
every single one of them get 12.5, which is 1/8, which was the Queen's Way.
Yes.
12.5 to 30% royalties. What Guyana get?
2%.
2%.
No,
And out of the
no.
2%, they're telling us transportation costs have to come out of that. So you may very well get not even a 0.1% when they're done with us.
No, but I believe somewhere in those contracts, and then we don't even have, I believe, if we had good high courts who can look at these contracts and read all the confidentiality clauses that they have, they can see where this money is.
Ma'am, they're putting confidentiality clause in contracts if they want to do a little pavement. So we must know.
Yes, that they're hiding. What they're hiding?
Yeah, the Borbridge Bridge was one. The Marriott, all these projects were totally in hiding.
Yes.
You know, this is why I said one good thing both governments have done for the last 30 years that I can proudly say is one thing David Granger did is release this oil contract. If he didn't release this oil contract, none of us could have been talking. All of us would have died. Our children and grandchildren and generations to come would have died from hunger because they would have never known what's inside there.
Yes,
They would have been cutting cane in that hot sun
True.
for the remainder of generations to come.
That's true. True.
So that's the only good thing. The one thing, and I'm going to talk that story sometime Friday or so, how that contract was released.
And thank you very much for the work you're doing.
You're welcome.
Giving us good education
Thank
about
you.
what's
Thank
happening.
you. Thanks. I love that lady. I'm so happy that they're beginning to understand what's playing out, what's happening with their own wealth that we own. They're treating us like if they're throwing, you know, I've said it. This is not bones where you just take off the meat and throw to the dogs. What we are getting is the chew up bones. They're spitting out at us. And all the leaders are quiet. Why they're quiet? Why they're not coming on the radio? Why they're not saying anything about these projects? They're not saying a single word on our gold, our diamond, our bauxite, or nothing. All they're talking about gas to shore. Gas to shore. And Guyana will be bright. And companies will come in here. And hotels going up there. You know, going up for who?
Well, like I said, you see your point out just about the insurance, and the minister went in so in depth about the insurance. As you rightfully said, what about our insurance for our isle, if in case we have an isle leak out there? Why nobody's not really talking about it? He just to show you how important insurance is to a household, to a person, right? Why not for the country? We don't deserve insurance.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't
He
even
just like
care.
so in depth about
He-
this insurance. If they know better, he would have make a buy insurance so we sell million just
Them
now.
doesn't care because a disaster should happen. God forbid. You hear me? The oil companies, them, will be flying in. They would have jets flying in here every second
Yeah.
to ferry them out of Guyana, leaving me and you to inhale, to suffer, whatever we have to suffer and die. That's what they're doing. This is why you cannot hear nothing. They are
We have
well
another
protected.
caller. Caller, good evening. You're on to the Glenn Lall Show.
Good evening, my sister.
Good evening.
evening, my brother.
Good evening.
You are doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
I am behind you. But I want to tell the Guyanese people something. The Creator cannot help us.
Yes, he can.
We got to help ourselves. The Creator sent 4 magnificent Lords on earth. Moses, Muhammad, Ram, Lord Krishna. We all pray to them. Read their books and see what they say. Is I'll kill the evil. I'll stand up against them. And I'll bring them down. And we stand up crying. We have to die. Any case, we gotta die, brother.
I hear you.
And we supposed to stand, come and be causing. A big man and they coming out to say, if you have any policy, if you have a good mind, if you have God feeling for your people, you would have come out and tell them, yes, this I done, this I am sorry. I will go back now and do the right thing.
I want to tell you something. I want to tell you something. I know in my heart that the Creator sent me here for a purpose. And I am fulfilling that purpose here. And I will continue to fulfill that purpose until He is ready for me. He
You
sent
are
us
right.
all
You're not
to
wrong.
do that.
You are right, but not wrong. What are we doing?
Well, like I said, you have to educate the people. If your leader's not saying anything, they're sitting there, just like yourself. You would have learned so many things because it looked like you have been listening to the program. So you would have learned there. Hadn't it been for me hosting this program to tell you guys what's playing out, what's going on with your wealth, you would
You
have
are
never even
doing
picked up
something
that
good.
telephone call to call us
What?
and tell us.
My brother, what the priests are teaching the people in the church, they are preaching something like what Jesus Christ said. If a man backs me on my left side, I must turn my right side. No, my brother. And that's why they nail it. I am sorry for that. But the rest of them, all of them kill. All of them bring down the suppressors. And why we have to die, any case, let us fight for it. Thank you, my brother.
Thank
Come
you.
in again tomorrow.
Thank you. Martin Luther King, he said, and he was very loud and clear. The man said, we should live like brothers. We should all learn to live like brothers and sisters or perish together as fools. So I will not allow that to happen. We will not perish like fools. I want to live like brothers and sisters, and we have to learn. I have to teach, and they have to teach me. We cannot. And time is on our side. Always remember that. We have time on our side. Many oil countries didn't see their contracts in 50, 60, 70 years. We have seen ours, thanks to David Granger. We have seen ours up front. We have seen ours just at the time when they start pumping oil. You know, right now, the gas compressor, the game, the gimmick, the kind of Nancy story they're telling us, The gas compressor fixed only last week. Again, it broke down again. It's not it broke down.
It never could have worked.
No, gas compressors don't break down, man. Machines don't break down, especially when it comes from Germany. Germany is one of the best countries in this world that produces equipment or machinery. I have them. I have 3 printing press that came out of Germany, was manufactured by Germans. And when they anything you buy, any tool for the toolkit you buy, lasts you for a lifetime, generation. That's how strong is the best. Their vehicles are the best. None beats it. So this Nancy story about gas compressor broke down, no, we're carrying that story tomorrow, by the way. And they said it broke down, but it's not breaking down. They have to flare. They're polluting us right now.
Yep.
You know, and we are carrying that story tomorrow because they may get the fool as yet, they may get these idiots as yet to set the gas to shore, protect the garbage as yet. They have to flare it because it has no value for them. You understand what I'm saying? But I was just thinking earlier today, if Trinidad or one of the islands couldn't file a lawsuit against Guyana to stop the flaring because the pollutions is not only killing us or affecting us alone, it is affecting bordering countries, neighboring countries. Maybe I should call tomorrow and find out. But we should take this matter to court because we are suffering and we don't know that we are suffering from that type of pollution, that they're burning that gas out there. But they're hustling and running. This is why I tell you earlier that blackouts will come all the time. You never had blackouts. Well, last you got blackouts in this country for the last 5-6 years. Never. But a sudden sort of it's a game plan to force the nation into submission. That's the word, submission. Yeah, this is what they do. These are the kind of things they do. Everything must go their way, the oil companies' way, or no way. And our leaders are fully behind them. As a matter of fact, they are calling the shots in this country.
But let me ask you this question now. I was listening to the news today, right? And basically this is what it said. Because they said that the gas company was surveyed with the thing that it's not working properly, more or less. Right? They say they're gonna cut back the gas now from the 120 barrel or the 120 barrel a day to 30,000 barrel a day, right? What proof we as Guyanese that this is what, remember they say exam say, and we just go along, the exam word mouth is with the Bible. What proof we got that they're gonna cut back?
Well, dropping the 30,000 barrel because the compressor is not working is neither here nor there. You understand what I'm saying? They're dropping down to the peak to which is allowed to flare. But they're allowed to flare not during production. Flaring to that peak is allowed when you're starting up the business, when you're testing and you get going. But for continuous production, that type of flaring is not acceptable no way in the world. So the dropping down 30,000 from 120, 130 barrel to 100,000 barrel per day does not help us. It's still flaring. It's still flaring. It's still polluting. It's dangerous to us and our health. But they say it's not good to wish people. But sometimes with this type of thing that is happening in this country, I wish the Creator see it in His wisdom to save us from inhaling that and let the right people inhale it and suffer. It's not good to wish people, but I'm not wishing anybody. They say I'm wishing those people who are doing this to us. I wish the Creator see or find it in His wisdom to let them suffer rather than we.
And it comes back to something that you said earlier too, right? Basically that with Melinda when she stepped in, right? That you sign a contract. Imagine you're going to sign a contract for about 20 years for these people continue flaring.
Yeah.
Thank God for somebody like Melinda that she could have stepped in step in and stop this.
Yes, it's the permit.
Yeah, you gain them 20 years of flaring. This goes to show how much you cares about us.
No, Exxon prepared a contract and these
And
guys just signed.
Well, this was saying how
The
you
laws
care
of
about us.
the laws of Guyana allowed up to 5-year permits, right? And then put 20 years.
Wow.
That's how Melinda Janke and others went to the court. And the judge said, no, it's got to be 5 years. I applaud the judges and the lawyers for that. You know, stick to your laws. We have laws. The EPA laws, the lady said, they are perfect. Guess what they're hustling to do now? The World Bank, who canal the world, coming here to get our leaders to upgrade it, to remove the laws we have, protecting us, to protect the oil companies. Don't be surprised if you hear tomorrow morning, you hear the Attorney General say, well, we are updating the EPA laws. Don't be surprised to suit the oil companies. To allow them to flare.
Give them people that were supposed to be watching out for us, no longer watching out for us.
No, because Exxon calling the shots. Like I said, read through the lines. Our leaders not saying anything. Exxon Mobil not saying anything. Hess not saying anything. CNOOC, the Chinese company, not saying anything that is working in the Stabroek block. A matter of fact, we are carrying a story tomorrow again that CNOOC, which is a partner in the Stabroek block with Exxon Mobil, had a spill in the oil field in China. And 3 people still missing. They tried to cover it up.
Wow.
The oil spill caused a big fire, and they tried to cover it down. But it came out. This is what they do. They do everything in secrecy. So we, the people of this country and the world, can't see or can't know. But they forget that today's technology, everything people does know.
Yeah.
Down to the workers that working on the rig cannot have a phone or a camera out there because you can't record or take a photograph of anything, any wrong, or to show what's going on out there. That's part of the regulations with workers out there. So you see, who calling the shots? Who running this country?
Exactly.
We are back to slavery.
Yep.
With all this wealth we have in this land.
It's so sad. Yeah.
All this wealth we have in this land. The phone lines cut off.
So sad.
Yeah.
We have one caller. Good evening. You're on to the Glen Lall Show.
Okay.
Yeah, good night.
Good night, sir.
I'm listening to your program.
Yes,
You're a
sir.
difficult man to get through to one. You know, all these people who are going into this government, the APNU, PPP, PNC, all of them going there for one thing, is to rob this country. All of them are deceptors. Yes, that's what I have to say.
I hear you, brother. I hear you loud and clear.
Right.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes, their actions.
Strictly business.
Their actions.
To rob this country.
Yes, their actions and inactions is
Yes.
clear that they don't want to get into power to look out for the people's interests. I think that they just want to get into there to benefit their own selves in whatever way. You know what I'm talking, man. Read through the line.
Yes, they're going there for self-aggrandizement. That's all they're going in there
Thank
for.
you.
Yes,
Very
I must
smart,
do that.
man. Thank you. Wow.
If you don't watch, we might end up with another situation like Equatorial Guinea, just a different way.
We will end up
Worse.
we will end up worst, my friend.
God forbid.
Because 35 countries
God
I
forbid.
name
Yeah.
has nothing below 12.5%.
Caller, good evening. You're on to the Glen Lall Show.
Yeah, hi, good evening. Good evening, Mr. Lall on the panel. Mr. Lall, I'd send you a text on WhatsApp a few months ago when the show started. And I think it was a couple of days after Jagdeo was on your show. And he said he have to pump the oil fast because it's going out. Oil is out. But then he went on to say that Guyana have the sweetest, purest, lightest, low sulfur oil. You remember that? That's what he said on the show.
I remember that.
And then he said that anybody pumping oil in the future have to clean all the sulfur out at a cost to themselves. You remember that?
Yes,
That
I
if
remember.
Yes.
Now, if Guyana have the pure low sulfur oil of the future, why is he pumping it out and giving it away at this market price when this is the oil that will be will be the highest quality, low sulfur, no additional cost, but yet he's pumping it out as fast as he can and giving it away.
There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that.
Okay.
They're afraid that time will run out on them, and they wouldn't get enough.
But he put his foot in his mouth because he said everything on the same show. And you know, he said it was clean oil, it's pure, it's light, it's the oil of the future. And then he went on to say you have to clean the carbon out. But it seems like this man constantly puts his foot in his mouth.
Yes.
Yes. And the only time he takes his foot out of his mouth is to change feet.
Yes. Yes.
That's,
you know, I honestly, hold a moment. I honestly believe that our vice president get too old and he should step out. He should step aside, because everything that comes out his mouth now, I have said it umpteen times, not in sentences, but words. Every word, nobody should believe. Everything he lies.
Right.
Everything he lies about.
And he's going to pull Ilfan Ali down with him.
Well,
he's going to pull him down with him.
Well, let's wait and see. I think Irfan Ali needs to know that he is his own man.
Yeah.
And he is young, and he got time for pump. He got lots of time on his hands to pump. Maybe Jack Day doesn't have enough time to pump. So that's why he wants to pump out quick.
And it's a shame to see this oil, like the way it's being described, being pumped away and sold off at this market price when it's the oil of the future.
Yes, I have said it, that they have said we have the best crude in the world.
That's right.
And it is very cheap to bring up. Guess
That's
what?
right.
Bring up is $40 a barrel all over the world.
Yep.
They tell us we weren't cheap, but they give us a price last year for $35. In my mind, I thought this thing would have cost $10. How they big up themselves and what they were saying, man.
And in the future, according to what he said, to clean the carbons out, none of that has to be done with Guyana's oil. It's clean, it's pure, it's light.
Yes, I know.
Is he pumping it up? Anyway, Mr. Lall, thank you, and you're doing a very good job.
Thank you.
But I called in the other day and I asked you what about the class action lawsuit? Get with the citizens against the government to show the Guyanese people all the contracts, anything about gas to shore, anything like that. I think you have to go through the courts. Like I said, they take you through the courts if you say anything bad about them.
Yeah.
I think the citizens have to do the same thing to them.
Well, I have instructed one of my reporters to write the Freedom of Information Department, asking them for some information. But I was told that the head there is not working. So I don't know where else we can turn. You're right. Maybe I'll move to the courts. But moving to the courts, you need lawyers. You need lawyers.
Cost money.
And like these days, these lawyers are so tucked in with one political party or the other that nobody seems to want to come and look as if they're going after government.
Yes, I hear you.
This love for Guyana, love for Guyanese people is not there in their hearts. And that can be mind-boggling and sad. I would love to have a few lawyers to challenge these issues. The Oh My contract, I've been talking about it publicly on actually every one of the program. And yet we can't see it. What is in there that they're hiding from us? We can't see these contracts. You know,
that's right, Mr. Lall. I just have a few last words for the Guyanese people. I just want them to know they, the government owed them for giving them a cushy job. They don't owe these politicians anything. The politicians owe them. They're the ones that vote them in and give them the easy life.
Perfect. Well said.
So they don't need to suck up to them. The politicians have to turn around and thank the people, not only their voters, the whole country.
Well said.
By doing right by them, because they got a cushy job and they have to thank the people for it. And that's what the Guyanese people have to change their way of thinking. Stop feeling you're obligated and you owe these politicians something. They owe the Guyanese people for giving them a cushy job and an easy life.
I hear you, brother. Thanks a lot.
Okay, Mr. Lall. Have a good night.
Thanks a lot.
To you and your panel.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, but Glenn, say so, right? Now I say, if Louis say, using your terminology now, I sell a mango and the person next to me sell a mango, right? And then I'm going to tell you what I'm going to say. And I realize my friend next to me that who's selling the same mango like I'm selling, doing much more business than me, you know, me and everything. Won't you think I would take a page out in my friend book and find what's going on?
Of course.
Say that to see the son I'm next to us. Doing the son is not in no hurry for take the aisle, trouble the aisle. Not in no hurry at all. Why we in such a hurry?
A matter of fact, Suriname says that oil price will go up. That they are not worrying about anything. They are taking their time slowly. Let Guyana fetch out them one. Let the people eat out Guyana one. When they're ready for them own, then they will pay the right price.
And it's the same exam son I'm doing business with?
Yes.
The same exam?
Yes.
It's not a different company, the same company. And son, I'm getting so much more. Something wrong with us in this country.
I think we're running out of time, Suan. So,
Mr. Lall, is that all of the calls you'll be taking this evening?
yeah, I think so.
Okay, do you have anything else you want to say?
I just want to tell all those callers a big thank you. A big thank you. You know, I had another presentation to give you about a story we carried. 442 billion Guyana dollar we gave away in 4 years. But because of the telephone calls, I couldn't carry through with that. But I'm going to try to see if I could fit that in on Friday. I want to thank you again for your telephone calls, and I want to hear from you, all of you, because we don't get enough time on this program to take messages and your calls. So I have decided to ask you to send your questions both during and after the show. I will take time to look at your questions and issues which you want discussed, and I will dedicate some time of these programs to address your concerns. I also want to hear your views, excuse me, and want to allow you to be heard on this radio program. So I'm asking all of you to send in a WhatsApp voice message so we can play it on the radio, listen to your concerns, and try to answer the questions from time to time. Please, brothers and sisters, please demand full cover insurance from those oil companies and our leaders so that we can all be protected. Our lives and livelihoods are at stake. Every one of us at stake. We should learn to live as brothers and sisters. Like Martin Luther King said, or perish together as fools. Please, we need to breed. And I want to end by saying, Guyanese lives matter. Good night, and God bless you all. Guyana, please listen carefully what your leaders and the oil companies doesn't want you to know. Nelson Mandela said, "Fools multiply when wise men and women are silent." There's a slogan in the US called Black Lives Matter. That slogan is now recognized around the world. It has become popular in May last year when a policeman for 9 minutes placed his knee on the neck of an already subdued black American man named George Floyd, causing his death. That event sparked worldwide protests. "I can't breathe, I can't breathe." Those were Floyd's last words before he died. The US is now trying to put legislation in place to manage how to change the operations of the police there. Killings like that does happen here too, but them does get covered up by the police. Like them lives don't matter. I believe Guyanese lives matter all over the world. After I present the facts about our 2% oil deal, you will decide if Guyanese lives matter or not to these oil people and to our government leaders. Tell me if them have one knee on our necks or both knees plus that 98% on our necks. Who ain't dead, Guyana, with that will surely die from hunger and starvation. So please, let your voices be heard loud and clear. Guyanese lives matter. Let the politicians and every single one of the foreign people fetching out our resources know that we can't breed with those contracts. Let them know Guyanese lives matter.